Hello, and this is Nabeel Amin from Lane 7. You founded Lane 7, correct?
Yes, I did.
How long ago was that now?
It's been just over 6 years now.
Wow. And was the store that I met you at on Main Street the first store?
That was the first store. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that store, you had like what, 1,500 square feet or something back then?
We had about 980 square feet at that point.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what are you at now? Like 50,000?
We are at 51,000 square feet. So yeah, 50,000 square feet.
It's pretty amazing in 6 years.
It is. We've actually outgrown this space too, but I don't want to break the sleeves again. So let's see how that goes. We've been here for about a year and a half now.
Hmm.
Um, but we have outgrown this space, so we are already using outside storage right now.
Wow.
Uh, yeah, yeah. So far, so good.
So, what are you seeing on your end as far as demand for t-shirts and fleece going down because of the virus? Are you seeing a big drop in demand or just a mild drop?
Um, the first week, like right smack in the middle of March, when right before everybody went on to stay at home. Um, like a week before that and 10 days after that we saw a huge drop,
Hmm.
and in retrospect I feel that that drop was obviously because a lot of businesses closed, retail stores closed, um, but it was also because all of a sudden people just didn't know what was going on and what will happen.
Right.
So for for about a week to 10 days or almost about 2 weeks, everything just vanished. But then business slowly started trickling in again. One smaller orders, and I would say since that time up to now, we have seen an uptick. Obviously sales are still down, um, but uh, in my view, all the online resellers are still doing better than promotional industries,
Hmm.
music merch, brick and mortar. But online resellers are still, I mean, they are down as well, just not as much as everything else, because everything else is just almost zero.
Yeah.
um, there's no concerts, there's no events. um, Obviously promotional companies are down too. But one thing that I've very particularly noticed is, like, in the past 2 weeks, looking at the orders, I almost feel that people are just almost itching to just get out, and
Yeah.
they're trying, because you'd see people who are normally ordering bigger quantities, not bulk quantities, but still bigger quantities. They are ordering in singles and 5 pieces and 4 pieces and 10 pieces. So, and I spoke to a couple of my customers, and they what they're doing right now is they're testing waters. They are not still not as confident as they used to be. So, but they don't want to be just sitting at home doing nothing. So they're still dabbling a little bit,
Hmm.
testing things out, and and a lot of people have started pivoting to online sales, which I think is the way right now. Which I is pretty obvious. Everybody knows it, but um, given this situation, that is what everybody's looking at right now.
Yeah. Have you seen anybody, have any of your clients actually done remarkably well? And if so, what were they doing different?
Uh, just simply online. I mean,
Yeah.
I've the two clients that I've seen are both e-commerce companies, and they retail online, and they're doing remarkably well. Means, given the situation, they're still doing
Right.
better than most.
Yeah. Because I think we're down like 60%, and the money we did make was almost all masks.
It's yeah. I mean, everybody's down about that's the average. Yeah, everybody's down anywhere between 50 to 70%.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean everybody down from the smallest businesses to the biggest businesses. I feel everybody's down 50 to 70%. Um, and yeah, mask is what it is these days. Everybody's doing masks.
So you're doing masks now too. I feel like
Masks.
everyone. I'm gonna be talking with Chris over at Bella Canvas about masks like next week, and I feel like everybody is just like the mask gang. Like all of us, none of us did it, and now all of a sudden it's like the only business that's working.
Yeah, I mean, very honestly, what are you gonna do, right? I mean,
Yeah.
if you know that something is working, and it's almost not even about doing something that's in favor right now. It's mostly about doing something that you know is working.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if the world is going to go back to working without an effective solution in place, and by solution I mean a vaccine,
Mm-hmm.
then they need some protection. And you know, while it's not necessarily medical grade protection, it is something. So everybody seems to be pivoting towards mask. Um, it's while I would say that yes, we did jump onto the bandwagon too, but we just waited. We wanted to, as always, as with all of our products, we just wanted to make something which is still better than um, just a very a half-assed job. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And how did you make these masks? Are you making them at your normal facility where you were making t-shirts?
Yes, yes, we are. But uh, you know, unlike others, we wouldn't say we just pivoted all of our production to masks. Yeah, we
Mm-hmm.
are bringing in a lot of masks, but the same factory, yes, we are making t-shirts and we are still making fleece and we are still making hoodies and t-shirts and whatever else we do, and we are making masks too. Um, what we did was, I sat down with the factories and I said, hey, so these are the masks that are available in the market. It's a low price item,
Mm-hmm.
right? What is it that we can do to this mask to make it a little better, but not throw it into the premium product thing? Because masks have, I mean, it's one of those things. You use a mask for a certain number of times and then you throw it away and then you use another mask.
Right.
So we uh, we didn't come up with a solution. There are other people doing three-ply masks. There are other people doing mask with a pocket for insert, and we did just the same.
Mm-hmm.
We put an antimicrobial finish on it. Um, does it stop the viruses? No. But what it does do is that when you're repeatedly using the mask and you keep washing it, um, it just does away with all the nasty stuff on that mask. So
Mm-hmm.
it's good for 15 washes. And after 15 washes, you throw it away. You use another one. It has a pocket where you can insert a filter. You can insert what people are doing these days. They are just using their kitchen paper towels. They cut it, they put it inside, and that apparently that works too.
Hmm. Well, that sounds pretty crazy. You said you're gonna keep doing your normal production, though. Are you expecting a pretty fast recovery, or are you limiting your inventory for fall?
I honestly don't know how even to. I mean, I don't know how to respond to that, and I don't even know how to think about that because look, there are a couple of different school of thoughts.
Uh-huh.
One school of thought is, and which is true. When the market does reopen, there's going to be a lot of inventory in the market. Um, but I I don't want Lane 7 to be stuck in a place where by the time people are ready to buy, we don't have enough inventory because we just cut down our um, projections completely.
Right.
So yes, we are taking a look at how to reduce those projections, but our inventory levels, I think, would be able to reflect what the market is ready for. I mean, that's the goal. That's our goal. So
Hmm.
yes, we are bringing in fleece. Our major product is obviously our fleece, and people love our fleece, and we do exceptionally well in fleece.
Yeah.
Um, so so we're not going to be stopping our production. Will we bring in less than what we originally planned? Yes, but we're still going to have a very, very strong inventory. Um, the the other school of thought is some people say that when it all opens up, people are just going to rush back because of two things. A, people have a buying behavior, they have a buying pattern, and they need to get back to that to feel like they are back in that world where they used to belong to.
Hmm.
And the second thing is that retailers who have lost months worth of sales are going to be pushing hard, whether if it's with their current inventory that's left over, or if it's newer sales that they need to bring in. Like if you're thinking about brick and mortar stores who have inventory left over from a summer inventory like t-shirts, it's not gonna it's, they still need to have a fall inventory. They still
Yeah.
need a fleece and joggers and long sleeves and zippers. So by the time we are back up from all of it, we are into fall, we are into winter season.
Hmm. And so what are you guys doing about having like new products? Because I know you were rolling out new colors and stuff before this happened. Are you going to have just repeats of last year just so you don't have to take any risks right now? Or are you going to be rolling out new colors, new styles?
Um, there are two new styles on the board.
Okay.
Um, we are too much into it to back out right now. And
Yeah.
while I can't say what it is, but they are heavier, and what we are bringing in is absolutely going to rock. So maybe we won't bring in as much, but
Hmm.
we're still going to bring in those two newer styles.
That's cool. I'm glad that you guys are still like pushing forward. What else have you been having the team do during kind of this downtime? Are you working on other projects for the company?
Um, I mean, quite honestly, the salespeople are still keeping in touch with their customers.
Hmm.
Um, we are still shipping with a skeleton crew. So, for the first couple of weeks, we just opened 3 days a week. Now we are open 5 days a week.
Oh, that's
So
great.
we're still shipping with a skeleton crew. On a personal level, well, took this downtime to sort of sit back, look at the business from a macro point of view.
Hmm.
Because see, when you're in the middle of all of it, you're just so busy doing so many things that you can't really look at it from a broader point of view and see where you want to go. So, I think everyone has taken this time to unwind, relax, catch up on everything. Um, I went into Google Keep and I deleted the 100,000 to-do lists that I have.
Yeah.
So that's one of the major things. My inbox has gone down to under 200 emails, I think, after a very, very long time now. Um,
Well, that's good to kind of clear your head a little bit.
it is. I mean, what else are you going to do? It is what it is. There is a situation. It's bad, but you can either let it just boggle you, or you can just use that time to catch up on everything that you hadn't been able to do before.
Hmm. What has your company's experience been with furloughing and PPP, and have you guys had issues getting any of that funding?
Um, with PPP, is going to come. It's approved. It's going to come. We have not laid anyone off.
Okay.
And it's it's kind of I understand that people are frustrated with that whole system about
Hmm.
funding, both with the EIDL and the PPP. But you have to understand that these are unprecedented times, right?
Hmm.
Uh, no matter how strong um, the government is or how well prepared they could have been or they have been, you could never have imagined, millions of people filing for unemployment. And if there is PPP, you have to understand there are literally millions of businesses applying for that PPP. So obviously, it will take time to get to every single person.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, everybody has been so patient for the past 4 or 5 weeks. Um, it's just I hopefully it's just a couple of more weeks. So I guess patience is the key. But I think, especially with the PPP, it is going to come around.
Hmm.
You just have to keep in mind that there are millions of businesses just like yours and mine who are applying.
Yeah.
So there's no cutting in line. There's just obviously there's a system in place, and then obviously it's that system is under pressure because of the number of cases that it's receiving.
Hmm.
So it doesn't matter how strong the system could have been, it's still millions and millions of businesses applying for that limited fund.
Right.
um, so it will eventually happen, I think.
That's good. Yeah, I mean, we got to a point of being approved, but we haven't finalized any like contracts. We just got this email updating us saying that it was being processed and had been moved down the line in the stage of wherever it is with the SBA.
Mhm.
Um, but still, we haven't signed anything or whatever. So it's hard to gauge when that money could possibly be coming for us.
From what I know, if they if the bank gives you a loan number, like
Uh-huh.
an SBA number, that means the funds have been reserved for you.
Okay.
Then it's just a matter of time and process
Hmm.
and documents going back and forth. But if you have been assigned, and this is just my understanding, that if you have been assigned an SBA loan number, that
Hmm.
means the funds are reserved for you.
Well, that's good to know. Um, what do you see happening? I mean, you mentioned a little bit earlier how the concerts and the live events are going to be gone for a long time. Also, we don't know what'll happen with like people doing school sales. What do you think small businesses that are print shops that are normally making all their money off either schools or live events should be doing right now? Do you have any like advice?
Other than masks, um, I think I think one of the things that will start happening now is um, live events,
Hmm.
and I think merge companies how they can pivot is they can start offering music merchandise online. I mean, more so than before. I mean, I know that still do, but more so than before. And if there are online live events, there could be links on there to buy merchandise right off of there.
Hmm.
Um, small print shops, the small print shops that I know, frankly, are doing masks. Some of them are printing for frontline staff. Um, and I think that is what they have right now. I think if any of the shops have graphic expertise, maybe they can put up a website, start selling T-shirts. Because look, in this time, anything helps.
Hmm.
Um, if they could set up websites where they can sell graphics, their own graphics, art on T-shirts, on fleece, on whichever product, that's one way to go.
Hmm.
Um, Other than that, it's just wait it out, I guess.
Wait it out. I'm just wondering how long that wait is. It's I'm really interested to see what happens to like Georgia with them reopening with people wearing masks. Because if they don't get a spike from doing that, it
Hmm.
means that there might be a path to California opening, hopefully before June. I mean, that I'm hoping that we get reopened by June 1.
Um, yeah, I guess it was May 15, and then I heard 2, 3 days ago that now it's a couple of more weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So um, it's all up in the air. I mean, I hope it just um, with the proper guidelines, of course, we just open up really soon.
Yeah.
Um, but even if we do open up, it all boils down to how people are able to follow the guidelines.
Do you think I've been thinking about people in our industry getting under a ton of pressure financially? Do you think there's going to be businesses for sale in 2, 3 months, or do you think a large portion of the industry will survive it?
I think there will be, but I hope they're able to survive it.
Mm-hmm.
I think there will be. But look, the US, the people of the US are resilient, and in my experience, and they're able to bounce back, and they really put in a lot into being able to bounce back. So I hope that they are able to bounce back from this.
Mm-hmm.
It's I know it just sounds, because everybody just says, have patience, wait, it's going to be fine. And I know it's easier said than done, but what choice do you have?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you can get innovative, but like I said, the only one thing that seems to be working right now is e-commerce. So if there's a way for smaller shops to um, to create websites where they can sell T-shirts with art on them,
Mm-hmm.
um, there's a small business push, and people are ready and willing to support smaller businesses,
Mm-hmm.
to buy from those smaller businesses.
Yeah, very true. Well, thank you so much for your time, Nabeel.
Sure, Cole. Thanks for having me.